So thanks a lot for talking to us. Give us a sense. This is again a ground-up motorcycle for the Himalayas. What kind of market segment are you looking at in this? And with that, the kind of aggressive pricing you have at 1,55,000, do you think it's a clear winner here?
Well, for us, we've been touring the Himalayas. Royal Enfield has been associated with the Himalayas for decades, and for us to build a motorcycle which was really purpose built for the Himalayas has been our ambition for a very, very, very long time, and we've put all our heart and soul into making it purpose built but not extreme. So you've got all the requirements of what is required. You've got enormous front wheel, lots of travel suspension, ground clearance, handles beautifully. So that's the entire concept of the Himalayan, and yeah, it's really meant for someone who's adventure minded. It doesn't matter if you're young, it doesn't matter if you're old, it absolutely doesn't matter. If you like adventure, you're interested in adventure, there's a perfect motorcycle for you, especially for India. It's got a, with all that ground clearance and suspension, it's got a very low seat height. You can see that here. It's, someone who's 5 foot tall, 5'2" perhaps, can plant both feet comfortably. If you're comfortable on a motorcycle, you're going to ride it much more than if you're not. So that was the entire concept, and of course, we'd love it to be an enormous success, and that's what we're targeting it to be. But we're committed to the segment of Himalayan and of adventure tourers. So even if it takes us years to establish the idea in people's minds, we think it's worth doing because people do want to adventure. And in fact, apart from these beautiful images of Himalayas, this motorcycle will work extremely well in the city as well, because if you could think about it, all the potholes in the city and all the comfort that you want in a motorcycle, it's all in here.
So, do you expect this to be a niche motorcycle, or you're thinking it with the pricing? As I said, you have put it very aggressively, and you said that it's going to be very helpful in the city. That it's going to be a mass product.
we, Again, we don't think niche mass. I don't know where do you think classic 350 falls in. So it's really it's. I don't look at it like that. I think that there is an opportunity for adventure-minded people to adopt this product and to make it their only motorcycle. So the the big numbers, if they do come for this motorcycle, will be that youngsters who are riding 100, 150 cc, and they're adventure minded. They want something to go out there and escape for maybe hours or days or weeks or months and travel around the country or something. And this is just the perfect vehicle for them. So, you know, it could take off. I mean, it could take off in ways that we don't know. But either which way, it's a great adventure touring motorcycle.
Given the fact that you have said this is a non-European adventure touring motorcycle, and you have made it according to the Indian conditions, that's talking about the non-European or India-like markets. Will we be looking at them given the global vision which you have at this point of time?
For sure. The the entire concept of this motorcycle, the like we said, it's not come from an archetype of adventure touring in Europe, because those are typically very big and bulky and very expensive, and therefore European highways which are much quicker. So this is much more in tune for the Indian market, and certainly over time we're going to. There's no question we're going to explore opportunities in getting into other markets like India and maybe in Latin America, Southeast Asia. That's the universe that we're certainly looking at for this motorcycle. Yeah, in maybe months or years to come. Yeah.
Talking about Royal Enfield, we have had a very good year in 2015. 2016, do you think the same kind of growth level is going to continue?
Well, in the calendar year, in the month of January and February, where we do have numbers, we've had excellent growth as well. So 60 odd percent, from the same point last year, and we've been growing at over 50% for the last 5 6 years. As of today, it's continuing. It's not going to continue forever. There's going to be some point where our 60% growth comes down a little bit, and to 50, 40, 30, and that's fine. We've really been doing a lot. We've been growing extremely well. So yeah, the growth continues as we speak. There's no question about it.
In the short term, at least for this year,
In the
you're
short
saying.
term, there's no concern at all. Yeah.
Talking about the Indian market as a whole, are we seeing growth signs coming in? Are we seeing demand coming in really?
Well, for us on the motorcycle side, for sure. I mean, it's people have figured out that a Royal Enfield motorcycle, led by the Classic, because that's really our best-selling model now, is something that's really exciting, really interesting, really fun for your daily use as well as for touring. So the conceptually the ideas are similar what we're doing, and but what's happened, if you talk about the larger Indian sphere, is that people are able to graduate now from a small commuter motorcycle. They're able to graduate to something bigger and more, I don't know, interesting for them, more evocative, more beautiful and fun, and all of that. So that's what we've been able to create, and hopefully with the Himalayan we can spur that entire movement a bit more.
After Himalayan, what next for Royal Enfield?
Oh well, this year is all about the Himalayan for us. I mean, in terms of a new product, and we have as we discussed earlier, got a lot of hopes and ambitions out of this, and not only for this year but forever, for the long term. So, of course, next year we do have more new products and more, lovely products coming out. But yeah, that's next year.
Last question, if you can give us a sense of the global vision which you have, where have we reached, and how many countries are we really exploring, and what's the plan ahead?
So, so yeah, we've been exporting to many countries for many years, and certainly in the US and Europe, we've been there for over 20 years. So it's not new for us. The newness is really about having a very strategic approach to markets. And while we're putting a lot of energy behind the more established heritage markets like US and Europe and UK, we've now set up in new markets like Colombia, Indonesia, which are potentially very high growth markets in the future. So yeah, and in fact, I think in the first year of of being present in Colombia, it's become our single largest market already. So we've got a very particular focus on some developing markets, and we're doing well there.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for
Thanks a lot.
talking to us, and all best wishes for you.
Okay, so if you're a biking enthusiast, that's something to definitely look for. Siddhartha Lal and ET Now exclusive, chatting about their the pricing as well as the kind of growth that the company has seen in the previous months. But that's the launch of the Himalayan Royal Enfield at 1.5 lakhs and some footage of the same.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/etnow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at etnowlive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/etnow.